Are we live? Yes, we are live, guys. What's up? I'm James Hake. This is cool. Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys.
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, what's up, guys? I am James Hake. This is Monday, March 30th, 2020, and it is live in the 9 a.m. hour of Pacific time. I was about to say the 9 a.m. Hour, the fourth hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, but I don't do that anymore. It's so cool. It's been like 2-3 weeks now or more. So, I have an interesting show for you. I want to talk about this coronavirus thing, and Trump is extending some of the avoid large gatherings stuff, and there's some crazy death toll projections. Crazy in my mind. Lame, overcautious doctors. And if I have time, Governor Andrew Cuomo's exploitation of this crisis to boost himself up. He's doing it. And then there's cops, of course, suffering. And it's predictable that the cops would be suffering because they have to go out into the community amongst the sick. What a mess. I do hope to hit the Fallen State, a review of the Fallen State that just recently came out. That's Jesse Lee Peterson's show. It comes out on Fridays. He interviewed a gender studies, which is really women's studies, woman. She's nice. Some of you guys were roasting her. But anyways, I took a picture with her, actually. Yeah, after the show. And I didn't know, is my picture in there? I don't know if I don't remember if I dragged it in before I put the picture in there. But I was wearing my never, but never, ever tell a woman your problems. And I saw her looking at my shirt and reading it, but I had forgotten what I was wearing. And she didn't have like a happy face about my shirt. I'm like, oh. I think I remembered after we took this photograph what I was wearing. Also, the subway ladies seemed to give me weird looks too for wearing that shirt. I forgot that that's a controversial shirt. But yeah, Jesse Lee Peterson had her sweating. Right on. Also, if I have time, I want to talk about a little bit more from Killing the SS. Because I'm just trying to, learn a little bit of history. At least according to Bill O'Reilly. Just get his take. I like boomers, right? I love boomers. And Bill O'Reilly is, as far as journalists go, guys who try to be journalists, as in like fairly presenting the facts, I think that he tries to do a good job with that. Way better than any of the so-called journalists that you're seeing on the mainstream, pretty much. I like Tucker, too. I like Sean Hannity. I haven't followed him a lot recently just because I'm busy doing my own news. Hake news, right? Way better. By the way, Jesse Lee Peterson, I just showed a picture from the thumbnail from church yesterday, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm the producer I make sure that goes out online, right? Well, I work with the engineer to make sure it goes out, right? Engineers. But he backed me up, knowledge versus wisdom. Because I have this t-shirt that says knowledge is poison. And some people disagree with that. But it is. It's like it builds up your pride, not your sense, your good sense. I'm going to get to your calls. But quickly, I didn't get to all of the diamonds. Somehow, some of this in this activity screen, guys, It doesn't give everything that happens. So just an FYI. And Dark Side of the Bear. What? I'm gonna have to look for your the diamonds. She's faithfully sending me the diamond screenshots of the diamonds that I receive. Diamonds, for those of you who don't know, if you're totally lost, diamonds are like donation messages. Okay, you give $1.20. That's about what a diamond costs these days, and you can give a brief message, and I read it on air, and it's cool. That's on dlive.tv/the Hake Report. But I missed them. I'll have to get to them tomorrow, I think. Sorry, but I will be looking out for any new ones from today. All right? Yeah. But there was a super chat yesterday on YouTube, and super chats are other donation messages. Okay, and David from Kentucky gave a super chat yesterday on my show and said, talk more about the coronavirus. I have it. So according to David, he says that he has the coronavirus. So pray for him, guys. What will be the death toll? I don't know. It seems like by far most people survive it, but I did hear that it does give some permanent damage oftentimes, or sometimes. Permanent lung damage. You're hacking your lungs out, permanent scarring. That's what I've heard. I don't know that that's how common that part is, but that's just what I've heard. And I've heard that it can even affect fertility. Nick Fuentes said that on his stream. I don't know where he got that, but that's what he says. And he tends to say stuff that's factual. So I don't know if that's a concern, but just FYI, it's not something to toy with. You don't toy with your health, right? But it's crazy with the death toll that they're projecting. At least this Fauci guy, he says 100,000 to 200,000 dead Americans it could be, which is crazy because this swine flu thing that took place close to 10 years ago, the H1N1 swine flu under Obama, it killed over 12,000 Americans. 12,000 versus 100 to 200,000? Dang. But we'll see. I saw somebody in the chat saying that's a pure guess. These people are not to be trusted. AP News is not to be trusted, certainly. They do try to give facts, but they are anti-Trump people. So, just FYI. The answer is we don't know. And I'm with that chat guy. This Fauci guy, I like that he's standing with Trump a little bit, but I don't trust him. Right? By the way, these doctors, they make me want to cuss. These doctors stink. Man, I'm sorry. All right. I was watching Chris Wallace. He's a liberal reporter guy, commentator on Fox News. He was interviewing but he was okay, but he was interviewing some dumb, weak expert. And I say weak because he just looked weak and his answers were weak. He was an expert with Johns Hopkins University. I guess he's the head of this group that is about, I don't know, things like this coronavirus thing that's spreading everywhere, right? And this man, I use the term loosely, man, he kept on not wanting to agree with President Trump. And President Trump wants to, in places where it's not a problem, let people get back to work and let people social distance while at work. Wear the masks if they need to wear the masks, stay apart, and wash their hands 5 times more. This thing, it kind of makes you more aware of your habits. And it's good to be aware of your habits and your cleanliness and the way that you could potentially be spreading germs and stuff like that. It's good to be aware of that stuff, and it makes you develop better habits, hopefully. And that's a good thing. And Trump talked about never handshaking again. Well, which I'm okay with. But is it making you more uh, aware of your washing the hands and stuff like that, Joel?
Um, to be honest, it has been. It has. It's always in the back of my mind more now than it was before.
Yeah,
To me,
me too.
to where it's like now, even when I'm out, I'm thinking about everything. Like, oh, don't touch that. Don't touch. Oh, you touched that. Go wash your hands.
Right? Yeah. I touch my face so much.
I know, and I didn't even realize how much I do
Right.
now that this stuff is happening.
Yeah. So just be careful, guys. I think part of this is because the people in charge do not trust you to have the right habits and not, there's something called super carriers, people who spread the disease like crazy. And I bet you they're kind of sociable people, but careless is my guess. But I don't know. But that's my guess. And just people who are just kind of not obviously dirty, but when you look at them closely, maybe they are. But so this guy, Trump said that he wants people to start to get back to work where it's reasonably safe. And this other doctor, this expert guy, doesn't want to do that because he says, "Oh, in those places that it's supposedly not a problem, these people haven't been tested, and we want to know everything." So, and basically, this doctor wants to be everybody's big brother type of stuff. Big brother being the surveillance state where the government controls everything. Control freaky doctor, female-minded, where people don't have the sense to take care of themselves and decide their own risks that they want to take. And he was so non-committal. Oh man, it must have been frustrating for Chris Wallace to get a straight answer out of the guy. Clear as mud. And doctors do that. They err on the side of caution. They are basically overcautious, whereas Trump doesn't want to err because this is like Jesse Lee Peterson pointed out. You let the economy go down, people are going to get sick and die and all kinds of mess when the economy goes down or as it goes down. It reminded me of doctors when their advice to you when you're injured. You ever been to a doctor when you're injured, Joel? I've been to the doctor when I'm injured. You ever been to the doctor when injured?
I don't remember.
Have you ever had an injury that kind of took you out from your usual thing?
Oh, I sprained my hand when I was younger once.
Okay.
That's about as injured as it got.
Did they tell you not to jog? Did they tell you to rest?
Oh, you know what? I got knee surgery. Yeah.
Oh,
That was just like a few years ago, too.
that's funny. What did they tell you?
You mean after the fact?
Yeah.
To stay off of it, but do your little exercises and
Right.
stuff like that.
Physical
Ice
therapy.
it. Right.
Okay. Because oftentimes doctors will tell you, and especially if you're lazy-minded, they'll tell you just to rest, stay off of it, don't do anything. Whereas you go to your coach, like say if you're a runner, right? Or whatever, they'll tell you walk it off or jog it off. And oftentimes jogging it off works. You get the blood flow through it and all that stuff. But the doctor doesn't know that. The doctor wants to err on the side of caution, doesn't want to get sued.
Oh,
All that
true.
mess.
That's true.
So, yeah, rest, but also exercise. And doctors want to keep you like incubated or something
Right.
sometimes.
That's
They're
a
not
good point.
they're not like men. Like Trump is a man. He knows
Yeah.
like how life works.
Not to over. That's true. The people on the news, especially the doctors, they make it so dramatic and over the top to where, it makes you want to go crazy with them.
Right. Yeah. Whereas if you had never heard of this coronavirus thing, you'd just think that you had a crazy flu, you'd be taking care of yourself,
Right.
and you wouldn't be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die.
This is the end. You're right. We're all going to be zombies.
Yeah. Supposedly, no city will be spared, Drudge reports, according to this Dr. Deborah Birx. And she's with this coronavirus task force with the White House. But, and by the way, New York State ranked number 1 in the nation in confirmed coronavirus cases and deaths, while New Jersey ranked number 2 in cases and was among the top 5 in number of deaths. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, not always to be trusted, by the way, issued a domestic travel advisory urging against non-essential domestic travel in the tri-state area. I guess it's New York, something, New Jersey, something. I don't know. I forget. Google it. What's the tri-state area? More, Nick, look it up for me. Let me get to some calls, though, guys. Wow, your mic is nice and loud. What's the tri-state area? I'm asking a Canadian. Let me get to my second favorite caller in the meantime. Earl from Michigan. Earl, what's up? Earl.
Yeah, James, how you doing?
Doing fine. Hola.
Hola. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Might as well practice, right?
You know, I was trying to get Jesse to converse on judgment and anger, the similarities or dissimilarities.
Yeah.
They have.
Are you a judge? Are you a judgmental person, Earl?
No, but I'm saying the relationship that he puts on anger and judgment as if that's playing God. That's what I dispute. Do you believe that?
I think it kind of makes sense. I mean, there's two different ways to judge, at least, right? There's the judgment where you're pridefully judging somebody.
Yeah, there's ways to judge, but it has nothing to do with the emotional state that you're in. The emotional state that you're in.
No, not necessarily. It can. That's what he means when he's talking about judgment. He says.
That's what I'm saying. That has no relationship with playing God by saying that the emotional state that you're in is playing God, because you don't have to be angry or.
You know what, man?
Happy, huh?
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that you guys, you intellectuals, and I am calling you an intellectual, don't realize, I'm calling Earl an intellectual. Mark that, guys. Don't realize that anger is, when he uses the word anger, he's using it as the root. Like you have the anger within, and that's what's causing all these other things: fear, judgment, the ups and downs of most people, being all excited and then all down in the dumps, and being all, oh, I love everybody, but you really don't. It's the emotional type of love, good feelings towards people, and all that.
But still, he can't make a general statement about judgment, and then when somebody's questioning him on it, he parses it out to mean certain things, and then when you point it out, they have no relationship to each other. He gets ticked and want to hang up on you because, like I said,
it's just that you're obstinate, Earl. You know what that means? That means stubborn.
Of course I am.
You don't want to. You don't want to open your eyes.
I question what he says.
You should question what you. You should hold on, Earl. You shouldn't. You should question what you assume about what he says.
No.
Yes.
I question his feelings. When he makes a statement.
But I know what you do.
Judgment is anger. That's a general statement. He didn't say only people that. Get depressed or whatever.
Hey, stay on regular phone. You sound like you went away from the phone or went on speakerphone or something. Don't be trifling with my show.
I was talking in general that when you pin him down, he just can't answer the question.
But you didn't pin him down.
But he likes to pin other folks down.
But
and make them answer questions that he tries to pin.
But your pins are dumb. You're pinning in the wrong place. Your pins are dumb. You're pinning in the wrong place. With all due respect, right?
Your pins are racist and they're dumb too. So
Man, your
what do you
phone's
got
getting all
to say?
messed up.
Huh?
I said your
Well,
phone's
I'm
getting all
talking away
messed
from the
up.
phone a
Huh?
little bit. But what I want to talk to, I wanted to mention that he said something earlier today.
I'm laughing because
Jesse. And he
the way
said
that
about, that he said about
I'm thinking about Hake
being
Peterson.
African American.
You know,
being
Hake
African-American
Peterson
and-
does a pretty good impression of Earl.
When he being African American, or you know, is that a problem? You have a problem with that, or Jim Crow era? The thing about it is,
Do you remember Jim Crow, Earl?
huh?
You remember Jim Crow times?
Yes, I lived in the Jim Crow era.
Nice.
Let me
Where
tell you a little
are you
bit about
from?
myself, just briefly.
Where were you
About
from?
my family. My grandfather was born in 1870. Not my great grandfather, my grandfather.
Nice.
He lived to be 94 years old.
Right on.
We had family that lived in the Jim Crow era, the early part. But if you realize that was just a few years after emancipation.
When he was
Proclamation,
born,
when
huh?
a few blacks were freed. So
Yeah.
he lived in the early part of Jim Crow era.
That's cool.
And so forth. And so when Jesse singularly puts himself out there
Did you say
to say
senile?
that only he can speak in the Jim Crow era, and that things didn't happen and so forth because he didn't experience it, that's the height of arrogance. That he thinks he can speak for millions of folks that he knows
Yeah,
nothing
Jesse's
about.
real arrogant. Jesse Lee Peterson and arrogance, they don't go together, man. You can try to put arrogance on him, but it's not going to stick.
If he says that something didn't happen in the Jim Crow era,
You're way more arrogant than Jesse.
well, listen, Tom.
Okay.
Just pick it up, Jesse.
You calling me Tom or clown? You call me
That when
I
he
accept
puts
it.
himself out to singularly say what happened and
Senile.
didn't happen,
Wait,
and people are lying.
let me stop
and
you
they
there.
disagree
Let me
with
stop
it,
you there.
It happened in
Earl,
the Jim Crow.
Earl.
That's arrogance.
Earl, did you say
Isn't that
senilely?
arrogant?
Did you say senilely?
Isn't that arrogant?
No. Did you say senilely?
You're stupid. You know that's arrogant.
No. That's ridiculous. Because
Yes, it's ridiculous.
no,
He is
listen.
not the only
What's
person that lived
ridiculous?
in the Jim
Earl,
Crow era.
be
He
quiet,
can't
Earl.
speak for
I'm going to put you on hold like I do Maze. All right, thank you. So,
Well, the other thing is,
no, hold on. Let me make this point, Earl.
you know,
I know Earl, I know you have more respect for a fellow man than Maze does. So,
Yeah.
so
Joel-
let me make this point. No,
Joel
don't talk about
spoke
Joel.
about
I'm
Jim
putting you on
Crow.
hold, Earl. I put him on hold. Behave. Whoopsh. No, I'm playing. What was I going to say? I think he said senilely. He's trying. Did you say? He wouldn't answer the question. And now I forgot my point. But, what's ridiculous? He's trying to say it's ridiculous what Jesse Lee Peterson says about the Jim Crow era, because Jesse points out whites and blacks still got along during Jim Crow. There were whites who didn't agree with it. There were blacks who knew it was wrong, but they didn't hate whites over it. They knew it was just the government trying to force them to come in with the false solutions. And maybe, who knows, maybe some of the solutions weren't so false. There's certainly a lot of false solutions now. We have reverse Jim Crow, right? Now it's Jim Crow against whites. But what's ridiculous, he tried to say Jesse's ridiculous for saying, come on, these people are being overdramatic. What's ridiculous is the drama about Jim Crow. Please, give me a break. The drama about Jim Crow is what's ridiculous. They're making every kind of slave movie and Jim Crow movie and act like these whites were so bad. I watched this movie called Ip Man 2. And they're making these whites look so bad. And I'm looking at the translations, right? And the Chinese, this is a movie set in Hong Kong, right? Ip Man is Bruce Lee's teacher. And they're making like these British guys who are occupying the Hong Kong. They're making these British guys, some of them, look so racist, right? Yellow, will somebody put this yellow fat slob out of the way? And then the Asian guy says, get out of here, Guaylo. And Guaylo means white devil, but they changed it to say foreign devil. So it wasn't sound so racist or whatever. But the reality is people are gonna point out what you are and just say it. It's not racist to say yellow slob, and it's not racist or to say white devil. It's just, it's for one, it's funny. And for two, there was just animated passions during that time. So anyways, this stuff, this drama about Jim Crow, which is long over, stuff is worse today than it was during Jim Crow. The laws that they have today, I would venture to say, I would bet you the laws that we have in the books today are more unjust than the Jim Crow laws. That's just me speculating, because look at apartheid versus how South Africa is today. South Africa is suffering today post-apartheid, and the way that the whites are treated, and the blacks, honestly, is worse than during apartheid, I think. The crime is through the roof like crazy. These liberals, communists and communist sympathizers, the liberal media, are ridiculous. They're the ones coming in with false solutions. So that's the arrogance, Earl. Don't you agree with that? The liberals are arrogant?
No. By the way, did you live in the Jim Crow era? Do you have any experience? Do you know what Jesse said is true?
Yes, I know that what he says is true because it's common sense.
And rationalize about things.
No.
You have no experience. No knowledge about.
No, I have experience of present day, and that present day reality shows me. Hold on. You asked me a question. I'm putting you on hold, Earl. Be quiet. But my common sense tells me that there were decent and indecent people in every time of all races. So there were decent people back then. And we can plainly see that the degeneracy has been encouraged nowadays.
Did you know that?
Huh?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew that Jesse's right.
I'm right about what?
He's right about Jim Crow being.
No, you're just trying to be.
No.
Facetious.
No. I'm not facetious. Right. I'm serious. I don't even like fish.
What? He's right about what?
He's right that there were decent people back then of all races. And this Jim Crow stuff, this drama about the Jim Crow is overblown.
But there was a
I gotta go, Earl.
Of dominance and trying to subjugate black folks as second-class citizens. Did you know that?
So what?
Yeah, so do you.
Huh?
So do you, because you was part of a white race that was subjugating other folks.
No, I wasn't.
So that's all fine with you, wasn't?
No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't literally, but the white folks in general was benefiting from making folks, black folks and others, second-class citizens and subjugated to them.
That's dumb, Earl. You're paying attention to the past when in the present day people are trying to subjugate the whites.
When Jesse speaks of
hey, Earl. Today the people are trying to subjugate the whites. I gotta go.
The Jim Crow era, he's talking about the past. Now, unless he tells the whole truth,
Earl, your phone is awful, and I gotta go. Let's talk again.
All right. Adios, amigos.
All right. Adios, amigos. Hake is so lame. Says Marcus Jones. Hey, Marcus. You know what? Let me get to Louie out of Idaho. Louie, thanks for holding, man. What's up?
Hey, how are you, man?
Doing fine.
I think, James, the tri-state area is New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
Thanks,
and
man.
that's why New Jersey might be getting the coronavirus. They got to cross the bridge every night, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Number two is doctor's oath is do no harm.
Right.
Okay? And number three is Chris Wallace is Mike Wallace's son. And Mike Wallace was like a legend in journalism from years ago.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And number four is Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly used to live in Garden City, New York, okay? Bill O'Reilly was a substitute teacher of mine in 1986, I think.
Wow.
He's self-promoting. Everyone knew by the third period of the first day he graduated from Harvard and all that. He's an all right guy, but he's self-promoting. He's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting.
The word of the day. I told him English is after lunch downstairs, you know, anyway. Just
That's
sarcasm.
Funny. That's cool,
anyway,
man.
I'm sarcastic. I do think the coronavirus is made up, honestly.
No, I don't think so, man. I think that there's a lot of made up news about it, but I
think
don't
it's
think
blown
that
out of proportion. Put it that way. It's blown out of proportion.
in some circles, yes, and in some circles it's understated. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's just the flu," or whatever, and as if something is just the flu. Nobody wants the flu either. The flu is pretty
Yeah,
nasty.
no kidding.
I mean, you don't want
Yeah, but how
to.
many-
I'm not for flu shots. I don't get them.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Me either.
But
I
anyway,
used to have to get them. I work for hospitals. I used to have to get them. My doctor says now, "Oh, do you want it?" I said no. He said, "Okay."
right on.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
good. Yeah, I don't trust those
I
things.
mean, all the flu shot does is introduce the disease in your body so it knows how to fight it. But
Yeah.
why introduce something that is in there, That's
Right.
just my point of view.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. Yeah. I appreciate it, man. It's good to hear from you, Louis.
You got a second chance, man. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let me get to Kenny out of Idaho. Oh, no. Is that a corona cough?
God bless you, James.
Thank
Don't be
you.
afraid
Same to you. Good to hear from you.
cough if you need to.
Say it again?
Yeah. Well, I was telling Nick on the screening portion of my phone call that this one doctor, I went there for a stitches dog bite, and this was after he had done stitched me up, and he said, "Oh, we need to fill out this form here. Your level of pain is up around the 10, right?"
Whoa.
He was trying to prime me to write down something that was supposed to be filled out before they admitted me
Uh-huh.
for emergency room dog bite. So I right away I thought about what was his angle. Why would a doctor try to goad a patient into filling out the questionnaire as to how fast we should admit you or put you in front of other people in line. Of course, I was the only one in the waiting room. It's a small town hospital here.
Yeah.
But you see what's going on with the doctors. They're anxious to pay off their student loans, which is upwards of $250,000.
Right.
And it's kind of sad that they will just go ahead and jump on the bandwagon that the Chinese and the Italians are going to bring the disease over here, so we need you to be extra panicky.
Yeah.
At one point, the news somewhere, I forget where I had heard it. They said, "Hey, look, man, you can get the disease and then be cured, and then catch the same one again." And that's false. That could never be. Later on, they changed that, and now they're admitting that your body builds an immune system. In fact, that's how they make a vaccine. There's people donating the plasma who've had it that contribute to helping people who don't want to get it.
I would caution people though with that, because I noticed that with me, when I get sick, if I don't get all the way over it, I'll fall back into that sickness because I'd never really got completely over it. So you want to get all the way over it. So,
and
it's just
another
a
lie,
side
since
note.
we're on the subject, and another lie that's being promoted is that everyone's, here's how you can be sure if you've got it, they're saying. Here's how you can be sure if it's the one major plague they're talking about, the particular strain, is that everybody gets the same symptoms. No two people are going to have.
That's true.
You get sick.
Yeah.
And based on your level of immunity, how strong you are in keeping up on good nourishment and plenty of rest and good exercise, your symptoms may be drastically different from the guy down the street that got the same strain.
Yeah, because people's bodies have different weaknesses. That's true, man.
But I'm on the side of doctors when, this is the only case, when they're telling people with chronic illness, no matter what no matter what condition they have, maybe diabetes or broken leg, they're telling the patients to do this or that, and the patients just stay straight down to their face. Oh, I'm not doing that. I don't want to exercise. What's that?
Yeah.
Eat vegetables. I like my food the way I like my food, and you cure me. I'll pay you. You cure me.
Yeah.
End of story. I don't want to hear nothing about, I need you to take this pill. Well, that pill's too big, or blah, blah, blah. And people make the stupidest excuses why not to follow doctor's orders. And they get frustrated. They get frustrated and sad. But I got to go. Hey, keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. It's good to hear from you. Take care, Kenny.
Mr. Hake, keep up the good work. God bless you.
All right. You too. Yeah, a lot of people, healthy habits. But you actually, I don't know, it's good. I actually made my lunch last night. Wasn't that nice? I used to be so disciplined about making my lunch. I used to make sure I eat a bag of vegetables, some fruit, oatmeal, make myself a sandwich or whatever. Anyways, Sion out of Georgia. Sion, it's good to hear from you. Thank you for calling.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you? Nice hearing from you, too. Nice to call you.
Right on. Doing fine.
Cool. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you all right. Go for it.
Okay, just was calling about the current situation in the entire world. Oh, hi, Earl. I want to say hi, Earl. He's funny. He's old. He's super old.
I don't know how old he actually is. That's a good
Jim
question.
Paul and his grandpa, he's so nice to you. He goes on details with you. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give him airtime too, please. He's entertaining.
Yeah, he is fun to listen to. I like his tempo. And I was cracking up because I was thinking about Hot Computer Smell's impression of him. I want to hear a substitute Earl versus real Earl, like we heard a substitute Maze versus real Maze. Anyways.
Yeah, call sometime Hot Computer and let us hear you. She is great with Maze accent. But I just was saying, I just found out that it's not just Chinese who eat bats.
Who is it?
In Africa, in Congo, Brazzaville, they eat it too in some parts of Africa.
Wow.
It's like legit. Yeah.
You know, I heard that it's frowned upon amongst the Chinese to eat bats. Although I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the dog torturing of dogs or whatever, that's frowned upon by the Chinese.
No, they eat dog meat too.
They eat them, but they don't necessarily torture them.
No, they just slaughter like a sheep, like a lamb, like a goat and stuff. It's so weird. People need to stop eating things that are not supposed to be eaten. It's disgusting. You have all this beef that's so cheap. Why don't you eat that? Instead of those disgusting kind of experiments, with disgusting animals. It's like in the South eating a possum. They're nasty.
But how do we know what's supposed to be eaten and what's not?
In the Bible it says that, right? What to eat, what Jesus said to eat.
But then didn't Jesus come to Peter in the dream or somebody and say, Peter, do not declare unclean what God has declared clean. So he start letting them eat pigs and stuff. But I could be wrong. I mean, that was meant to be like a metaphor for, now the non-Jews can enter the kingdom of heaven, something like that, right? The Gentiles. But I don't know.
But pork shouldn't be. That's my belief.
Pork should not.
I don't know.
It seems like a lot of people who avoid pork may be healthier. I don't know. But
it's not just the Allahu Akbar people who do that. It's Orthodox Christians. Only Catholics eat pork. They allow it. I don't know why, but it's gross, that thing. Not only it's cancerous. They said something about being cancer. I'm not sure.
You definitely shouldn't overdo anything. If you overdo anything, you can get cancer from it. And maybe it is more cancerous. Wayne and Rhonda says, bacon. So you don't like bacon or sausage or ham?
No.
Or hot dogs?
No. No.
How about kosher hot dogs?
That's beef. I like hot dog. That's Hebrew beef. And you know the Hebrew. Yeah, I'm not advertising. Oh my gosh. You know the Hebrew brand, but and I like turkey bacon, but it's not as crisp, but it's healthy.
I just had flashbacks of this fake bacon thing that I've seen Joel make for his sandwiches. Is that turkey bacon? It is?
Yeah, that's turkey.
That doesn't even look like real meat.
The flavor is so good, though.
Kind of rubbery.
It's not
it's turkey. It's good protein.
Google images of it.
Okay.
Because
it's not as good as regular bacon, I will say, but it's the alternative.
It looks like beef jerky, but smooth and almost see-through. And I don't know. It doesn't look right to me.
Now, the whole world is waking up to what to eat. When I go to the grocery store, I see a lot of people who picked up lime and turmeric. People take turmeric as a pill. I'm trying to tell you, it's the curry and the cayenne pepper. It's really good and it's healthy.
Okay.
And people should eat that to boost their immune system and to fight against this corona.
Yeah.
Because,
all right.
Yeah, I had a scare about it because they found 2 people that one person died from my job. It's serious. Seriously.
Wow.
Especially if you're old and your body can't, fight it and it doesn't have those herbal, spicy upbringings. I'm serious.
Yeah.
You have to fight it with eating healthy food. But also, this could be a political thing for the Democrats, I think, because they're trying for him not to get elected again. But too bad he's already voted for, in my opinion. People they really appreciate what he's trying to do every day, the president, fighting these crazy loonies. And you saw that lady was telling that man to stay at home. Yeah, they want everybody to stay home, and they want to push and further this disease, this virus, to keep, scaring people and shut down everything so that they can, somehow trying to make Donald look like he's not doing a good job on the economy, to make him look like he's not doing it, for people to criticize him, or like they already know he's going to get voted for.
They love killing. They love killing small businesses, anyways. They don't like people being independent.
Yeah. Yes, the economy. They don't want him to go down as the best president for the economy.
Yeah, they pretend that.
Doing a great job.
You know what else, Sion? They pretend that the economy is not made up of people.
Yeah,
they pretend like the economy is separate from the people. Because a lot of times people, you can kind of cut them slack because the evil rhinos make it easy because they only cite like the stock market or the GDP or whatever. Yeah. And that stuff is also people, but it directly affects people when you're not able to go to work or you have to close your business until April 30th or something. That's wild.
It really is, and the unemployment line is like so full. A lot of people can't get their check. It's delayed, and people have kids and rent to pay because the bill is not going to be quarantined. You have to pay,
and it's wide open for abuse. People not going to pay rent because they can't get evicted. People going to file for unemployment when, under false pretenses, like they're already doing, right? I know able-bodied men who, during the last so-called financial crisis, the recession or whatever it was called, they filed for unemployment, but they're able-bodied. They could get a job if they wanted to. They're just too picky.
Yes, I know. They're using this. The lazy ones are using this opportunity, and those who are blue-collars are suffering. And the companies, I thank God for the Great White Hope because he is bringing the jobs back here. I know they're not paying as much taxes as they used to during the Obama era.
Yeah.
So they're staying their businesses here, especially in Georgia. There's a lot of corporate offices because the taxing is so cheap. It's a Republican state.
Good.
But I don't know how it's going to be in a couple of years.
Right.
Because I think after 4 years of Donald, Lord help us all, because it's going to be hell. Like, I think that it's not going to get any better. A liberal is going to be elected, and this country is just going to be, businesses are going to move to Europe or Mexico or wherever.
You're predicting Trump is not going to get reelected?
No. I said after 4 years.
Oh, after four more years. After 4 more years.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that's it. Of course, he's already elected. Even the liberal, the lazy ones who smoke blunt all day, they're appreciating that they're going to get respect from him.
Yeah.
People love you when you do stuff for them. They never appreciate you as you are. So now he's doing stuff, for those who are out of work, and even those who are not out of work. Everybody's entitled to their tax money. It's fine, but if it was some other president, we wouldn't even get this compensation check or whatever check that they call it.
Sion, let's not worry about, we're not even supposed to worry about tomorrow. We can't predict what the country is going to do. It may take a turn for the worse. Remember, some people loved Reagan. They thought that he brought back morality and stuff like that. And then look at what we are even after Reagan. Like, we got Clinton. And then we got W. Bush, who, he found out that he was a rhino. And then we got Obama. And now we have, total degeneracy encouraged. And so it could very well be, with Israel, they had, a good king. And then they had, the evil king. And then the people would try to follow God, and then they would forget God. Follow him, forget him. And that seems like the way of the world. But hopefully people are starting to...
I know. We should all pray in our homes. We should all get closer to God in this time of trial, because it's going to get worse. There's going to be diseases that are, not... even you could get it over through the phone if I cough on you one day, maybe. We don't know.
Well, I appreciate it, Sion.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
You. Yes, you too.
Nice
Thank
call.
You, bye.
All right. By the way, let me read some super chats. Lin Yan Chin says, vulnerable equals susceptible. We are all vulnerable to bullets. We aren't invulnerable, a.k.a. indestructible. JLP, Hour 1. Tyrone, stuck in a persona o drama. Mama trauma. He a mess o PMS. Nice. Appreciate that. Hopefully you guys followed that. Alejandro Davila says, for the Hake Polo Fund. Oh, he wants me to wear better shirts. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Lin Yan Chin, intermittent fasting boosts resistance and recovery from infection. Fasting is the body's equivalent to be still and know. It sharpens its function. Wow. Interesting advice, man. Thank you. And then this is SOBC. Says, this is for the fund to get Earl a new phone. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. And Jimmy DM gave a Ninja Guinea. Said, for the cause. Keep up the good work, James Hake. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. And by the way, let me just read the top contributors so I don't get stuck. And in 6 minutes, I'm going to open the treasure chest on DLive.tv/The Hake Report. Thank you to Jimmy DM, Paramedic, Champ something. I'll get back to your name. Beard the Butcher, right on, man. Robot Moose, Asmodor, always faithful, man. Thank you. Floshinsky, Grace Face, Reed Johnson, Take Care Business Bear, and Champ Bear. Thank you, guys. Wow, cool. Bears, huh? The Bears must be pretty decent people to have so many in here. That's cool. Okay, so let me get to this Fallen State review. Just a brief review. It was a question. The main thing that I had in reaction to this video, the Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson, he interviewed Abigail Saguy, I don't know, Saguy, professor of sociology and gender studies, which worthless degree let's be honest, it is. I can't imagine that it's Saguy. I can't imagine that it's not a worthless degree. Author of Come Out, whatever, whoever you are. And that means that's under the pretense that homosexual is who you are, or fat is who you are, or because some people, they talked about people coming out as fat, which is interesting. She's nice. Yeah, she has 2 PhDs, 2 master's degrees, and a BA, a bachelor's of arts. She got one from France, one from Princeton or something like that. But, I mean, I know a lot of people who spend a lot of time in school. I don't know how many years that is, but okay, so the BA is 4 years, 3 years if you're smart, 5 years if you're Hake. And what else? The PhD, the master's degree is another like 1, 2, maybe 3 years. And then the PhD is another 1, 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know. I don't know my stuff. And a PhD in what? That's a doctorate, right? That's a doctorate degree. She's nice, but she's sly. And the lie is sly. 10 years. And yeah, plus she had 2 different PhDs. The lie is sly. That's why I harp on these intellectuals, because intellectuals, I reference this book every now and then, The Making Gay Okay, and it was made by a Catholic guy who does not believe that gay is okay. He knows that it's wrong. But he was talking about how these intellectuals came in and rationalized wrongdoing, wrong as right, wrong as fine. And that's what the intellectuals do. That's why I think that this, and you may laugh at this, you may agree with me, you may disagree, but I was making fun of yesterday the Democrat politicians with their hand sign language people. It reminded me of Obama at, was it Nelson Mandela's funeral, when that black guy was doing sign language and he was just totally making it up. But you couldn't, but honestly, looking at these other ones, it didn't look like he was necessarily making it up, because he still had the same goofy style about him, jumping around like he was dancing, making faces. I don't know if he made faces, but these guys made faces. It just lowers the dignity of the person in office who's trying to present to you some somber news about somebody dying or about whatever. And so I just think that they're rationalizing, oh, there's deaf people who need to see the sign language people. When really it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a conspiracy to make our leaders look less respectable, which they are. These Democrats are not respectable anyways. So whatever. If I were a sign language person, I would be like, no, I'm not standing next to him. That's beneath my dignity. And then I would go goof off somewhere else. Anyways, she's, by the way, she exercises, this woman, because Jesse and she were talking about fat, and that's cool. But my main question is, what is equality, and why is that of value to these people? They have this false idea of equality. And yet it was funny because she wanted everybody to come out except for the whites to come out as, hey, I'm going to come out and fight for whites not to be discriminated against and railed on and slandered and libeled and smeared so badly. And honestly, everybody should come out and do that, because right is right and wrong is wrong. So even blacks and others. She even said Lizzo was beautiful. That's true. Now you know she's lying. But she was nice. Let me get to a call, and I am going to open the treasure chest in the midst of this call, so I'm probably you're going to see me jump when Joel presses it. Robert from Canada, first-time caller. What's up? Roberto.
How's it going, boss?
What did I call him? Did I call him Roberto? Okay, Roberto. Good to hear from you, man.
You got it, my friend. There we go. So, yeah, I was watching that video on that lady.
Yeah.
And I did some research on her, kind of just looking at her background.
Right on.
This lady is a very influential person. Like, she's not a stupid person. You
Yeah.
So I feel like now that I kind of rewatched it a little bit, I was reading the comments and I was like, this lady, she knows exactly who Jesse is. You know, she's not just going to show up on a show and not know what his background is, not know what his positions are, not know how he views the world. So I think that I believe that this woman is just filled with malice, and she came on the platform to portray an image, kind of like, oh, I'm so nice, I'm so soft, but really, I think that woman's vicious deep down inside. Like she has an agenda and she's winning. And when I
Yeah.
say she's winning, I'm talking about the liberal media. They're taking these ideas and they're running with it.
Right. You know, when I
Right.
say the
So
word nice, I don't mean good. Niceness is
yeah, it's
evil.
kind of like fake nice, you know?
Yeah, it is. And a lot of homosexuals are nice, and then they befriend you or they're in your family or whatever. And then the
Yeah,
parents and the friends of these people suddenly feel sorry for the gays and join their side. And then they become so-called allies, when in reality they're supporting everything evil, just supporting these gays on their way down to hell and going to hell with them. And it is,
absolutely.
yeah, you are right about that. I don't know if she knew much about Jesse or not. I think that this niceness is a way of life for a lot of these people. You know,
Yeah,
there's this communist line that radicals, the ones who are effective, a lot of them anyways, dress up in suits and act presentable. And that's what she
yeah, yeah.
was. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And this is like going on all over. Like I live in Canada, but I'm originally from Latin America.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I encourage you guys to look it up, and also all the people listening. There's an artist, very famous artist, all over the world, not just Latin America. His name is Bad Bunny, and he's literally dressing up like as a woman. He's wearing skirts, and the agenda is obviously it's been like this for years. But this is the first time that it's happened within a Latin American artist, because naturally Latins were a little bit more masculine. You know
Wow.
what I mean? We have a little bit more traditional culture. So this is going on, and I speak out against it, and
Yeah.
I'm shocked how many Latinos are defending him. I'm absolutely shocked that I'm starting to realize that, you know what, my generation that thinks very traditional, that you know what I mean, that holds on to the traditional morals,
Yeah.
we're losing, man. And you got all these little girls. They're like, no, he's a hero for women's rights. I'm like, how you gonna be a hero for women's rights if you wearing a skirt? Like that's ridiculous to me. But look it up, Bad Bunny. Check it out, and then maybe you guys can talk about it. I know y'all got that one guy. He's Colombian, one of your buddies,
Yeah. Esteban.
Esteban. So I would recommend it. Bad Bunny. I think the track is called Ella Perrea Sola. It's hard to, I can't spell it for you. Sorry, man.
Yeah, it's all right.
But tell your buddy to look it up, and you guys can watch it. It doesn't have to be today, another day. And you guys comment on it. And basically, it's disgusting, bro. The degradation of society.
Joel
So,
heard about
how
it.
about look at it?
Esteban showed it to
You read
Joel
about it?
already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just saw it yesterday, actually. You want to say anything
That's
about it, Joel?
crazy.
Yeah, Esteban, it's crazy that you bring that up. The Colombian Esteban showed me the video yesterday, and he was disgusted. Him and I both were just disgusted about it. It's horrible. It's insane.
And
It's
you know
silly.
what's crazy? The females that I know, they're defending him. And in my mind, I'm like, how am I supposed to marry
Typical.
a female like this?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, girl, you looking cute, you looking fine, but hey, if you like this, you like this shit, I'm not messing with you.
But what do you expect? To be honest, Roberto, what do you expect really from these entertainers? I'm not surprised they do stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's
But
part of.
I'm surprised because in Latin America, we don't mess with that. In Latin America, if you look at how that music started, so reggaeton, you look in Panama, Puerto Rico, we had music talking about don't be gay. We had music talking about don't eat, girls pum pum. We have music talking about you a bati boy, which is like, because we have a mixture of like Latin Americans and Jamaicans in Panama. So our music was anti-homosexual. This is what I'm saying. This is what we grew up with. And now it's the complete opposite. So when you say, am I shocked? I'm shocked because we did a 180, dude.
From the
But
culture.
hey,
And
even back then, was it?
Old.
Even back then, was it? It's, Latin America to me has often seemed kind of woman-centered and socialist leaning. So it was only a matter of time before this degeneracy entered down into you guys too, because even though you weren't for homosexuality,
the feminist movement has been going since the 60s, even
before
in
that,
Latin America.
Before that, 100 years ago, man.
I would say 60, including, I don't know if you guys know about like church history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you know Vatican II, once Vatican II started making the changes within the church, that leaked out into society as well.
Yeah.
So instead, because before the women, they used to wear, I don't know how you say it in English, veils. But in Spanish, we say velos. So the women used to wear veils over their head, and that was just part of normal society.
Yeah.
But when Vatican II came, they started dressing more liberal, right?
Interesting.
And I don't know if you know somebody named Edward Bernays, but he introduced fashion and so forth. But I would argue since probably 50s it probably started, but 60s it really started manifesting.
Wow.
But I don't know, Latin American society now is so bad to the point where now my own people, they calling me sellout. Can you believe that?
It's pathetic, man.
They calling me sellout because I'm conservative. They calling me sellout because
yeah, of course.
Welcome to the majority community.
Right. Well, right on, Roberto.
They calling me a sellout, man.
Don't even sweat it, though.
All right, my friends, stay blessed. Hey, keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
And hopefully you guys can keep getting your following a little bit more bigger. Because let's be logical, Jesse. He's a good guy, but he's not gonna last forever. So you guys got to take the baton and keep running with it.
I rebuke that. Jesse's living forever, but yeah, you're right. More people need to wake up and become leaders ourselves. Thank you, Roberto. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. You guys have a good day. Cheers, Jeff.
All right. Take care. Malkuth X gave a super chat and said, Hake, I've really tried hard to get my friends and others to listen to your show, but say they can't because your voice sounds stupid. I'm trying, though. Thank you, Malkuth X. Keep trying. Appreciate it. But if not, hey, let him suffer and die. And congratulations to Reed Johnson, Grace Face, Dark Side of the Bear, Shaggy Boy, and Floshinsky. Thank you, guys. And TNT88, thank you for the diamond. All right, guys. TheHakeReport.com for my stuff, and JLPTalk.com for the Jesse Lee Peterson Show stuff. That's where you can get this shirt. Oh, the wall going up. All right, take care.